Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the podcast, One Man, One Tree in a Hill. I'm your host, Jared Waters, two-time wrestling champ, stand-up comic. We have a wonderful guest, ladies and gentlemen. Originally from West Harlem, Devanique Gardner. How are you, madam?
Just Harlem. Just Harlem. I'm well, and yourself?
But this is West Harlem, where you're from.
Oh, no, it was just Harlem.
Well, why do they call it East Harlem then?
Because white people came and changed it.
So what was East Harlem before that?
Always East Harlem. It was just East Harlem and Harlem. That's it. Uptown.
But I'm saying, why would they call... That's what I'm saying. Why do they call Harlem East Harlem? Wouldn't they just call it Spanish Harlem?
Yeah, Spanish Harlem, East Harlem. I don't know.
We got Devanique here. How are you feeling? Corona, how are you feeling through this pandemic? I told you to wear your mask too. I'm praying right now. I'm about to Lysol my feet.
I'm feeling good. I found out I was pregnant about a month ago, so
right up top.
Right
when
it's
good news right up top.
Right,
I was gonna get to it, but F it, yeah.
Right when it first happened, so like it hit me hard. Not corona, but the pregnancy.
The pregnancy. How many months are you?
Yeah, I'm 2 months, about to be 3 months at the end of the month.
When did you find out?
March 15th, I found out.
March 15th, you found out you were 1 month pregnant, or you were just
6 weeks.
Ooh. How did Ooh. How did the boyfriend take the news?
He said, ooh. Ooh, he was, real like, wow. I thought we couldn't because, it's been a year without birth control. And then he was like, I thought it was you. And then I thought it was me.
Wait, you took yourself off birth control?
A year ago, yup.
Why did you take yourself off birth control?
Bad side effects, bad headaches, throwing up. It was just really bad. Not good side effects.
Oh, you didn't think about being abstinent?
Nope, I never thought about that.
So you took yourself off birth control because the side effects were what? What are the side effects of birth control?
Okay, so like a week before I would get my monthly, I would get like a really bad headache, and then I would be throwing up for days at a time. I couldn't keep anything down. I'd be throwing up for days at a time.
Was this a new birth control or the birth control you always had?
Always had it. It made me real violent. No, I don't think it made me violent. I think
that might explain a lot of the stuff. Were you getting these spells when we worked together?
Yes, I did.
Or you just would be blacking out, and I was like, man, something's up with her.
Yeah, real moody, real, just not me. It wasn't me.
So you took yourself off birth control 2 months ago?
Last March.
Last March.
March 2018, 2019.
2019.
Yep.
So y'all playing chicken, a dangerous game.
Shacking up. Russian roulette.
Shacking and racking. What y'all doing?
Yeah, Russian roulette.
So first you tell him what? It's like, hey.
I know. I say, is he gonna hear this?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's worldwide. I mean, is he gonna hear it?
I said I took a test because I said, you know what? I'm late. 3 days was normal, but it was like 5 days late. So we went to Dollar General. I said, let me just get a test just to be sure. He said, you must know something I don't know. And then I took the test, and I said, well, go look at the results because I'm nervous this time. And then he looked, and then he said, it says 2 lines. And I said, he said, what that mean? And I said, the box is in the trash. So, and he was like, oh, you pregnant? And I was like, yeah, that's what that means. He was like, kind of.
How long did it take before y'all just took the news before you broke it down to your family? What happened when you told him? So how did he take it? Did he take a walk?
No, we was in a house and we was having game night that night. So we had to soften up the tension before our guests got there. And I made rum punch, and I was like smoking a little bit at the time. So I made rum punch, and everybody was like drunk, and I was like acting like I was drinking, like passing the blunts, like, oh no, I'm not right now. Not right now. I don't really want to smoke. And then that night he was like, you really wasn't smoking or drinking? And I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. He was like, oh, I mean, you want to keep it? And I was like, yeah, I mean, ultimately that's what I mean. And he was just like, oh, all right. And then that was that. Then the morning sickness hit me the next day.
So
Fast.
when do we tell mom and your family? When does that happen?
His mom came over the next day. She was dropping up off some she's a nurse, so she was dropping off like necessities that we needed, and pregnancy test was on the counter because we were just like, let's take another one. We took another one, and
This is some love in hip hop Atlanta, right?
she dropped the stuff off on the counter, looked at it. He was playing the game, so he wasn't looking at us. She looked at me. She made her eyes big and said, "Walk me to the elevator." And she was like, "We having this baby, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "All right." She was real excited. Like, she was really excited. So I was like, since his mom knows, my mom gotta know. So I FaceTime my mom. I'll show you the picture. I FaceTime my mom, and I showed her the pregnancy test, and she was like, "Stop. What does that mean?" And I was like, "You know what it means." And she was like, "Oh my God, you pregnant." And I was like, "Yeah, let a nigga take me out the game." Here's a picture. She was real excited. She was real excited. I was like, "Yeah."
Then you told us.
Yeah.
You didn't even know how to tell us. You were just. I was like, what did she just?
Yeah, because I joke so much. My aunt had something for her friend, and I was like, I'm not really drinking, and I could put the drinks away. So they was just like, "Why you not drinking?" And I was just like, "Just not now." And then I told my aunt, and then my uncle said came later, and I was like, "Well, since the cat's out the bag, I'm pregnant." And they was like, "No, you're not." And I was like, "I am. They was like, "No, you're not." And I was just like, "All right." It was like, "Show me proof." And I was just like, "The pregnancy test is at home." They didn't believe me until I showed them the actual sonogram. And they were just like, "Wow, a crazy Jamaican baby." And I was like, "Yeah."
You said, I'm reading our text message. You said, "Oh, we're talking about Drake's baby."
That's I'm not talking about nobody kids.
You're talking about Drake's baby. And then you go, "I'm not talking about nobody's baby until I got dropped mine in November." And everybody said, "Wait, what?" Wait. What did Sherilyn say? Wait a freaking minute. She all crying.
She cried.
I was trying not to laugh. Oh, this girl's emotional, ain't she?
So emotional.
Said,
oh my God.
Girl, she love you. She
said, "I'll start crying."
She sure did. I thought she was joking, but she sure did.
No, she cried. That was.
She was mad happy. Shout out to Shirley.
Yeah.
So let's go back before the baby. So y'all don't know what y'all having yet. You find out when? 3 months, 4 months?
So I'll be 3 months at the end of this. I could find out in June. I'll find out in June.
Is that when the gender reveal will be? If we can go outside?
I hope we go outside. The gender reveal will be in July. Maybe I don't even know the timeline. I've been asking my mom 1,000 questions. I don't really know. So we'll have a gender reveal though. We gonna have one. We gonna party.
What would you like, or you don't care?
I prefer a girl because I have 5 sisters. So
Good
I'm like,
gracious.
I think I could do it.
Let's go back to where we are before the present. Let's go back. Where are you originally from?
I was born and raised in Harlem, New York.
Born and raised where? Do you guys? I notice in New York, you guys always talk about your hospitals like it meant something.
I was born in St. Luke's, Roosevelt.
Is that a hospital?
Yes, I was not born in Harlem Hospital. They call it Killer Harlem.
That's what Killer Cam said, yeah.
Yeah, Killer Harlem. I wasn't born there. I was born in St. Luke's with the good people.
You were born in St. Louis, Missouri?
Oh, no, St. Luke's Hospital.
St. Luke's. Oh, sorry. So St. Luke's, you're born in St. Luke's. And
yeah.
What was it like? Are you the oldest or the youngest?
I'm the second oldest. I have a 31-year-old sister.
Have I met her before?
Jazz?
No, maybe not.
You didn't meet her at the funeral? No. She came at the end. There's 5 of us. 5 girls.
So, grew up 2-parent household.
Yep.
What was that like? Being the second oldest. Was it strict, tough? Because y'all got a lot of love in your family.
We do.
Y'all love that. There's a lot of girls, and y'all always... You have a very close relationship with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all grow up more as friends, or what did y'all grow up as? Or she was more strict growing up?
Nope. She was a single mom until I was 8 or 9, and she met my stepdad Reggie. And
Let's go back before Reggie. So what's your dad's name? What's your dad's your
Dave. So
where's Dave at? Where was Dave at in the beginning?
Dave was around when I was younger, but he wasn't around enough for me to like feel comfortable with him. So my mom used to make my uncle chaperone me to go with him so I could be comfortable, and didn't just stop because he went to prison. And he came out when I was in 5th grade. So
What did he go to prison for?
yeah, he went to prison. I think it was murder.
Do you remember as a child him going to prison? How old were you when he found out he went?
I don't know. He wasn't a big factor, so I don't know. He wasn't like, my uncles was always like in the household with me because my mom raised them. So like they were the male figures in my life.
So your older sister, you guys have the same father.
No, different dads.
What's her dad's name?
Her dad's name is Cree.
Was he in your life, Cree?
He was. Yeah. I would see him, but he didn't live in a household with us. But we did.
He would take you when he took her?
No.
Oh.
No. We was always with our mom. It was always separated. We was always with our mom. But like we lived in the same community, so we would always see him.
How young was your mom when she had her first baby?
She was 19.
She started young.
Yeah.
Well, 19,
really
not that young.
Yeah, she was young. That's young. Legend has it is my uncle was going to pay for her to go to John Jay, and then she ended up getting pregnant, and my older sister came out looking exactly like him. Let me show you a picture of that.
Came exactly looking like your uncle?
Yep. Here's my uncle. Here's my uncle right here.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my sister.
She high yellow.
Yep. My mom is brown. He's high yellow too. Yep. That's how it came out.
So when you say uncle, you talking about just what y'all called uncles. He wasn't the uncle. That wasn't her brother.
No, that is my mom's brother.
Why would you say her son? You said her daughter came out looking like him.
Because they say when you don't like somebody during your pregnancy, your kid comes out looking like them.
What?
You never heard that?
No, I thought you were saying as in like legend has it, your mom raised his...
Oh, no. Legend has it that he was going to pay for her to go to school, but he got upset that she didn't go to college. She ended up getting pregnant.
Oh, so the baby turned out looking like her.
Yeah, light skin.
So she's 6 years older than you?
5.
Your older sister?
5. I turned 26 in August.
Y'all close?
Yeah, it wasn't always like that, but we're really close. She got my 2 nephews.
What was it like as like growing up with her, having a big sister around? Was it like she didn't want you around because she was older than you, or?
She was mean. She was really mean. Like my mom used to work full-time hospital Monday through Friday. Saturday she worked at the hair salon. So she had to watch me. And I think it was like a little resentment with that because she had to be like the second mom. And I was a little hard-headed and crazy. So she just had to like deal with me. And
how many tussles did y'all get into?
I think it wasn't that many because I was also spending a lot of time with my grandmother, my mom's mom. But when she was around, she had to watch me. She had a best friend named Nikki, and I became really close with Nikki instead of Jazz. So Nikki used to like protect me and stuff, take me outside and do my hair. She was fun.
So we got your big sister. And then when do your little sisters come? How old are they?
Anna is 21, so she's 4 years younger than me. She'll be 22 in September.
This is your Reggie's kids, right?
No.
Okay.
Her dad is Steven. This is Reggie's kid. Rain is...
Well, let's go to Steven. So we go... we got Creek is the first one.
Creed, okay.
Creed, then your dad. Your dad is...
Dave.
And here comes...
Steven.
What was it like when Steven came in the picture?
He lived with us for a little while. And then I just came home from school one day. And my mom was like, packing his stuff. She kicked him out because he like cheated on her. And then after that, it was just us.
But I mean, when do you remember when your sister was pregnant? Do you remember when your sister came? Because she's 21.
Yeah,
So she's
I don't
5 years. So you were.
I was like 5.
So you remember when your mom was pregnant? You remember?
I just remember her being born. That's it.
And how was y'all relationship growing up?
I would say we got closer over the years as well. Like all of us got closer over the years.
'Cause that's a lot of girls in the house. That's a lot of girls in the house.
Yeah.
A lot.
No, Jazz moved out at 18. So once
That's still when she's 18, you're 13. So you still have that from middle school. Yeah, you were in
just
fifth
started
grade.
middle
You were,
school.
yeah, you had a baby sister, so you were taking her around. So what you and Jazz did, you had to do with you and your third sister.
Not really. She used to be with Reggie a lot. Reggie had her a lot. He used to have her. So I really didn't have to do that.
So Reggie comes in, right? How old were you when you meet Reggie?
I was 8.
Does he have any previous kids?
No kids.
So he took on a woman with 3 kids.
Yes, imagine that. It was
Where is he from?
crazy.
Texas or something?
No, he's from Riverside. Riverside Drive. Yeah.
That's over that way.
Yeah, uptown.
So he meets a woman with 3 kids. How was it in the beginning meeting Reggie? Were you them hard-headed stepkids?
All right, so.
Giving him a hard time?
I did give him a hard time because it was like I knew my dad, so it was like, you're not my dad. I have a dad. The transition wasn't smooth because it went from us being in the house with my mom, my 2 uncles, my aunt, my sisters, my mom, and then he came and it was just like everything changed. Like this used to be like the fun house, and then he became the fun police. So, so it was like, wow, that was a big difference.
Would you say he established more order? Was there more order in there? Or just
I think that's what it was, like the authority. And I was just like, why are you coming here with that? We didn't have that before. But then over the years, it got better and better. And I was just like, all right. Once I moved out, it was like fine. But being there, I was just like a
So from
rebel.
middle school to high school, you have Reggie in your life. And what was he doing? Strict on grades?
Yeah, he was real strict.
Give
So
me an
strict.
example. Strict like what? What couldn't you do?
I could do stuff, but in 5th grade, I started
Started what?
at a charter school. So it was just like we started school in August.
Why'd your parents choose a charter school? Because you were...
I don't know why they chose that charter school, but it was like one of the first charter schools in Harlem. So he found out about it, and then next thing I know, I'm being taken out of public school and sent there.
So you'd lose your friends?
Yeah.
Is anybody in the neighborhood going with you?
Nope. Nobody. All new people.
Well, that's good that you had to adjust. You had to learn to meet new people. How did people take your personality? Did you have this big personality when you were young as well?
I did. I feel like that's what made people gravitate towards me. I was like always loud. I always had this funny sense of humor. I was just like, a social butterfly.
What type of charter schools? Is it like more diverse? Are you around kids you've never seen before?
No, like black and Spanish kids. They weren't.
It's pretty much what Harlem was back in the day.
And it was like
compared to what it is now, right?
Right in Wagner Projects. So that was a little scary for me.
What was scary about middle school?
Being in the projects.
But that building that you guys live in, that's not considered the project, correct?
No.
So that's what y'all lived in. You said for 20 years you've been in that place?
No. So I lived on 149th Street. I was in 220. Then I moved to 202 on the same street. Then I moved to 7th Avenue, 2568. And then we moved into 148th Street, 205.
Yeah, we don't got to put all the business out. If somebody's looking for you.
Nobody's looking.
So we get to middle school, and then so you didn't go to school for your sister at all. So you pretty much every time.
Oh, I did.
So she went to the charter school as well.
No. So they took me out of that school in 7th grade to try the school that she was in. But my sister said that's not a good school for me because sometimes I would go looking for her and I would ask her friends like, oh, like, like, where's Jazz? Where's Jazz? And they're like, oh, she's in the nurse's office. So I was like, a concerned little sister. I went to the nurse's office and she wasn't there. Turns out she was cutting school. So I told my mom,
in seventh grade?
no, I was in 7th grade. She was
She
in
high school.
Yeah. So my mom was like, oh, really? And then she just told my mom, I'm not sure that school is the right one for her. And my mom took me out of there.
Oh, so you're pretty much blocking on your sister.
Yeah, but I was just trying to see if she was okay.
7th grade. This is like you're 12. And what, Reggie? You better get in that school.
Yeah, I was really worried about her. Like,
how did she take to Reggie being in her life? That's an adjustment. That's 3 dudes,
No, I guess he was like getting her nails and hair done every weekend, I guess not robbing her with money, but like, getting stuff done. So she was fine with that.
Yeah. So Reggie's inside your life. When does your other baby sister start coming? How old are they?
Rain is she was born in 2005, so she'll be 15 this year. London will be 10 this year.
Oh, so they're babies.
Yeah, they're young.
So Reggie was in your life until they're 15?
Yeah.
10 years old. So when you were like
11,
that's when they start having kids.
Mhm.
Your mom had 5 children.
5 girls.
Never wanted to try for a boy, or it's over.
It just at this point, she about to hit 50, so she got 2 grandsons.
Who had the
Jazz has 2 sons.
She's the oldest.
Yeah.
Oh, those are the ones you post all the time.
Yes, my nephews.
So let's go. So we're in middle school. What is middle school like in Harlem? What is the hardest, the most challenging thing? As in, what type of student were you?
I was a good student. The only thing I didn't like was there wasn't much diversity with the teachers. At my elementary school, there was like a lot of black teachers. And then I come to this charter school where everybody is white.
How did that affect
All
you?
the teachers are white. I did not like it. I'm not a big fan of white people. So, being honest.
What'd you say at the time?
No, I would say still.
Why would you say that? You don't think?
It just makes me cringe.
Does it make you cringe the way you grew up? Is it because you grew up in Harlem, or why? What is that?
No, I went to college where there were a lot of white people.
But you have a lot of white friends.
I do have a lot of white friends. I don't have a lot of white friends. I have some white friends. But I feel like some of the people that I did come in contact with that were white, I just didn't like some of the things they did. So.
Do you think it has to do with location? For example, I think that when people say that New York is diverse, I think New York is not that diverse at all.
Nope.
Like down south, we're diverse because of black, white, Hispanics. Everybody lives in the same neighborhood. So everyone got to say something to each other because we all in the same neighborhood. If you got a problem with somebody, it's probably going to happen because you all go to the same Piggly Wiggly. So somebody going to say something at the register. But in New York, it's so split up. It's like, let's put the blacks and Spanish in Harlem. Let's keep some of the Asians in Queens. And let's keep the Jewish people in this side of the town and split everybody up. So my friend told me, his name's Alex. He told me the first time he ever met a white dude that wasn't his teacher or a police officer that was a friend when he was almost 18 or 19 years old. He might be 25 now, 26 now.
I actually had a pen pal that I met on like Goodreads when I was in middle school. I was like a bookworm. So I had a pen pal from Florida. She was white. And then I didn't really have much white friends until I went to college.
Okay, before we get to college though. So in middle school, what is that like? So you're just like, did you feel like, were you like intimidated by being around people who didn't look like you?
No.
How were the teachers? Were the teachers embracing you?
My full name is Davonique, and they had a system where it was called demerits. So the teacher mispronounced my name, and I was like, no, it's Davonique. And she was like, that's a demerit. And I was just like, wow, that's my name. I'm not really gonna, let you pronounce it wrong. So that's my the mispronunciation of my name is like has a lot of to do with like me like disliking white people because they just like don't give a shit. So I went home and actually told my mom, and I was like, I didn't like that. And she was like, you tell people how to say your name correctly. That's it. And I was just like, I know, I am.
I'm trying to say before, because I know you're making a statement. I know you're trying to say it. I think the experience you had, correct? Yeah,
Yep.
think about it, because most of those charter schools that started early in New York are all from like TAFTA employees, meaning that Teach for America. They send people who aren't from that neighborhood into a neighborhood and have to teach neighborhood kids who are not from there, so they don't know how to culturally not appropriate to assimilate to their cultures. So you're probably dealing with teachers who never lived in New York before,
Yeah.
from like Nebraska or Wisconsin, and they're trying to relate to inner city kids, and they really can't. A lot of teachers struggle with that.
Yeah. Didn't like it.
Were you in trouble? Did you see the principal a lot, or?
No, I used to get my lunch packed in middle school, so I would get 2 sandwiches, a snack, a juice, and like a fruit. So at lunchtime, the principal would sometimes come in and eat some of my lunch.
What type of?
We ate lunch in a classroom,
Oh,
so
like,
like
what
he
type
would
of-
say like, "Oh, like what do you have today?" Like it was him and my stepfather were like kind of cool, so he'd be like, "Oh, what do you have today?" And then I'll be like, "I got this," and then he'll like take a Dorito or something or take a fruit snack. And then it was like
but he wasn't eating the second sandwich. I thought
no,
he was
not the
down-
second sandwich was for after school, not the sandwich. He was a cool guy.
Do you have any friends that you met in middle school that you're still friends today?
I do. Some of my close friends, I'm still friends with them. I've known them since I was 10.
Because y'all live in the same radius. Like in New York, it's kind of easy for people to have like life lasting friends, because y'all sort of don't move from coast to coast. Y'all really stay in one borough.
One of them are in Charlotte, so
704.
yeah, one of them live in the Bronx. We don't see each other often, but when we do, we have a really good time. And then I have a friend that has twin daughters. So I think she's like more busy like being a mom and stuff. You know, like that. I guess.
Do your sisters have big personalities? Or do you think you're the biggest one? Or when y'all get together, the personalities magnify?
They do magnify. I would say the older three,
They're quiet, or?
no, we are just like me.
Your older sisters like that?
If in honor. So when people come around, they're just like, I tell them before they get around my family, everybody is alike. I'm not. It's not just me. Everybody is like me because I'm a lot to handle. So when they meet my family, they're just like, you guys are alike. Like, oh. It could be overbearing for people. So I don't bring a lot of friends around, but the friends that do come around.
But the ones in middle, so we're in middle school with this big personality. How does it fit into the school that you're in? Did you feel like an outcast, or you felt like?
No, it was a good combination because I knew like when to turn it off and to like when to like focus on my studies and when to be a clown. So like when I was a clown, I was a clown. When I was a student, I was a student. I would like to say I'm the same.
What type of grades were you getting in middle school?
I was more like a B, C kind of girl. I wasn't really overachieving. I was never really an overachiever.
So we get to high school. Do you still send the same charter school, or you go to a regular high school?
So I went to another school. Mom was like, you know what, let's try this again. I went to another school and I was just like, no. I did not. No. I was in school from 5th grade to 8th grade with the same 20 kids. So when I got to the different high school, it was like, oh no, this is ghetto. So I said, yeah, I want to go back. And I went back.
You went back to the same school?
Yep.
Wait, you went back to the same charter school?
Yep. They let me back.
So did you go to a public school, or you just?
It was a public school, and I was just like,
what about it was messed up? It's just too wild, or what?
It was like really wild.
What part of Harlem was this in?
It was on 96th Street on the east side.
Oh, you're on the Lower East Side. Is that Upper East Side?
Upper East Side. And I was just like, no, this is not for me. It wasn't
too
for me.
wild, or what? What was the wildest
It was
part
too
of
wild. Like it was like always fights. they didn't let the teachers teach. So it was just like, that's not what I'm used to. So I actually want to leave. And I left.
This is freshman year.
Yep.
So freshman year, you get back to your school, and you're with the same 20 people, or is it new?
No new kids. There weren't any new kids.
So you've been with the same people from 5th grade to when?
Like some people left, but there weren't really many new additions besides like 2 or 3 kids. So from 5th grade to 12th grade, I was with the same 20 kids. I graduated with 20 kids.
Any fallouts with friends? Because you got to have some if you see the same faces every day.
Yep. Well, I had a very best friend, and she slept with my first boyfriend.
What's her name?
I'm not going to put her on blast like that. She's a mom now. Hope she's well.
How old were you guys when this happened?
16.
Oh, well, 16. That's some Boy Meets World stuff.
Yeah.
So you confronted her? How did that go?
At first, I thought she was joking.
Oh, she told you?
No, other people told me it. And I was just like, she wouldn't do that, like, she wouldn't do me like that. Like, we was, like, hanging tough since 5th grade. And then I asked her about it, and she was like, yeah. And I was just like, wow. And then I just stopped hanging out with her.
You didn't forgive her at all?
Mm-mm.
How do you know she has a baby then?
I have her on social media. She added me on social media. Isn't that funny?
So your first boyfriend happens when? At the age of 16 was when you first started dating completely?
14.
14. How did that happen? How did Mr. Reggie take that?
He didn't know it was a secret. That was a secret.
But your mom knew, or?
No, it was a secret. Nobody knew.
Well, everybody at the school knew, and how small the neighborhood is. Nobody said nothing?
No, the school wasn't in my neighborhood, so it was perfect.
Where was the school at?
East Harlem.
Okay, so you had to go from this part of Harlem to East Harlem.
Yep.
And what was the first boyfriend's name?
Sean.
So you guys meet, and this is what you've been knowing since 5th grade.
Yeah. It's like, he's so cute. And then we got prom king and queen in 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
8th grade.
Oh, you had a prom in 8th grade?
Yeah.
Well, middle school prom.
Yeah, BS. The cafeteria.
And y'all start dating at 14.
Yeah.
14. When did he start meeting your family?
He did not meet my family.
So this is still a secret today?
Yes, it was a secret. I'm grown now, so if they hear it, they hear it. But I don't care, but yeah, that was a secret.
Was your mom strict on the aspect of just like, my 16-year-old daughter doesn't need to be dating right now, or?
Oh, no. So as soon as I turned 16, the summer before we went back to school, my stepfather sat us down and was like, I don't believe in mistakes. And in my mind, I was just like, oh, well, what's a mistake? If I wanted to do something, it won't really be a mistake. So I thought he meant pregnancy. So I was just like, all right, I don't really plan on getting pregnant. So,
well, what did he mean, though, when he said mistakes? That's what he's talking about?
Yeah, I never really asked him to elaborate. So I was just like, whatever.
So that was your birds of the bees talk it happened with you?
Yeah, like, Mr. How Reggie. Ridiculous is that?
Mr. Reggie, don't have no mistakes out here. What did your mom do when he was talking to y'all?
She just like kind of went with what he said, and I was just like, oh, wow, whatever.
Did you admire the way he treated your mother? When did you get to the age where you realize, like, he's a good man, he's treating my mom nice? What age did you realize like that? Because that's being grown now, thinking about a man taking on a woman with 3 kids, loving her and giving her 2 more kids. That's a special type of breed there. He must be from Krypton or something. That's a long... Imagine you had 3 kids and walked up to Anthony, how he would take that.
Listen.
He would have passed a couple of Reggies around.
Their relationship was unique. I never really admired it, but he did take care of home. So, like, home was always taken care of. Some stuff I did not like, and when I grew up, I was like, that's not what I would like to see in a man. So I didn't really glorify some of the stuff that I saw growing up.
The stuff that you saw growing up, how does it affect you now?
So there was like times where, like, if they was to get into an argument, he would, like, if he wasn't talking to her, he wouldn't talk to us for weeks.
Oh, you're his kids or just all of y'all?
Everybody.
Oh.
His kids weren't born yet.
Okay.
But like when they did come into the picture. He would like talk to them, but like not talk to anybody else. Slamming doors, like huffing and puffing, like being real negative. So once I was like old enough to have my own relationship, and like me and Anthony have been living together for 2 years now. So if like I was upset about something, I saw myself just like shutting down, not speaking to him at all. And we would go like that for a few days. So like now it's like, I was saying like, that's not really healthy to like shut down if you like love somebody. So like now I'm like expressing myself more like, all right, this is what happened. I don't like it. We need to fix it, instead of like doing a silent treatment. I didn't like that. So you need to like stop or like do something else.
Did you ever have those moments where you spoke to your mom about anything else of your mother? When did your relationship with your mother go from mother to more like, she's my girl? Still mother, like mother, sister.
Yeah. So when I was in college.
Let's go to college because we skipped over that. So 16, you lost one of your friends. Y'all stopped falling out. Y'all had a falling out because she was getting her shaggy on. And then
being a hoe.
She was, she was being 16. That's
being
what 16.
free. Yeah, free.
Yes, she's 16.
Yeah.
But y'all are social media friends, so let bygones be bygones, right?
Yep.
So 17 is when you graduate high school. When did you start applying for schools? Like, when did you know? Did you want to leave the city, or did you want to go?
I did want to leave the house.
Why
it
did
didn't
you
matter where I went. I felt like it was strict. It was toxic. It was like not at that point mentally, not where I wanted to be. So I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. So, so I chose a school, community college upstate, and I was like, I'm going. Like, I got accepted to a few schools, but I was like, you know what? I heard some good things about the school. That's where I'm going.
So you pack up everything and you go, what's the school called?
TC3, Tompkins Cortland Community College.
And you go, where's upstate at, like?
It's near Ithaca, about 45 minutes from Ithaca, an hour away from Syracuse, 45 minutes from Binghamton.
So you guys drove up, or you
No, so let's go to that. So that day, my mom put me on a Greyhound bus with one suitcase. I didn't have room and board, so I was supposed to be set up with, it was like called like the suite. So I was supposed to live off campus. Everything was supposed to be set up when I got there. When I got there, nothing was set up. No money was sent. I was sitting in the lobby for hours until like my mom had to like figure stuff out. And I finally was put into a suite at like 10.
These are not college suites, right? These are just regular
college suites. Yeah,
okay.
10 p.m. It was like 10 p.m. when I finally went into a room. And I was like,
what's going through your head? You're upset, frustrated,
I'm like
embarrassed?
annoyed, because it's like, you knew this was coming. You knew I was going away to college. You should have had this set up. But these are also life lessons for like
being an adult.
Becoming a parent, making sure my kid is like set up how they need to be set up, being more involved in my kid's life, stuff like that. So I was just like real pissed off that I had to sit in that lobby for hours while she figured stuff out.
What were the ladies doing in the office? Were they talking to you? Would you like some water? What were they saying?
No, they were just like, there's vending machines. There's a
Lord have mercy.
There's a room where you could like watch TV with a few couches if you wanted to. I was just like, no, I'm gonna just like sit here. There was like a Facebook group with like kids going into the school that year. So like some guy I had met on Facebook, he came out and he was like, my name on Facebook was Jody. So he was like, Jody? And I'm like, oh yeah, my name is Dave or whatever. And he's like, oh, like what's going on? And I was just like, oh, like my mom is like figuring out how to like get me into a room or whatever. And he was like, oh, all right, like you want to come to my room? And I didn't know him, so I was like, no, like I'll just sit out here. And he actually sat out there with me.
For how long?
For like an hour or two.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, that was real nice.
What was his name?
Anthony.
Is this the Anthony?
No.
Oh.
Jug. They called him Jug. And I was like,
that's like, well, this is amazing how y'all met.
No.
So you chill in the room. So what? So how happens when you finally get the key?
I finally get the key, and there's one other person living there. She actually became one of my best friends. I was, I like knocked on her door, and I was like, "Hey, I'm Day," and she was like, "My name is Dakira." I was like, "Oh, that's so cool," and I told her my whole name, and then she told me her whole name, and we have the same initials. So I was just like, "Oh, that's wow, like that's so cool." And then I was like, I don't really have anything in my room. I didn't have any sheets. I didn't have any comforters. I didn't have a pillow, no TV, no nothing. So I had to start from scratch. So I was like, "Oh, there's no food here, no utensils. We need to, like start getting a house together, but I also need to get my room together." So we went to Walmart. I remember this day like so well. I was like, "This is what I eat. This is what I don't eat." She was like, "Well, I'm fine with that." We got groceries. We actually had to walk to Walmart, and it was like a country town, so there was like no real streets. So we were like walking on the side of the road. We took a $5 cab back, and I was just like, if this is how college is gonna be, you know what? I'll take lemons and make lemonade. So that first night was like, it was it was cool. It was fun, I guess.
What was your major in college when you got in there? What did you decide to do?
Early childhood. It was always early childhood.
Early childhood. What was the first year like going through college? You're meeting friends. Your Do you remember? Was it hard? What type? What's high
So
school?
living off campus, I always lived off campus. So my first semester, I was like, you know what? I'm here to focus on school. I'm gonna do school, whatever. And then we started meeting people from campus, and then we started having wild ass parties. And
Because it's completely different being off campus. On
yes,
campus is
it's like,
wild.
oh, y'all live off campus? Oh yeah, we about to have some parties. So second semester is when things went, like a little downhill, and I was just like, Thirsty Thursday, we're gonna have a party this weekend. Everybody come over. And then
So your place turned into
the
the
party
came and
room,
turned into the frat house.
303. Yep. Partying, dancing, drinking, smoking.
Did your grades suffer?
They did.
How bad did it suffer?
It didn't suffer that bad. I had a C.
What did
So
your
I was
mama say?
still.
What did your mama? What did
She
Mrs.
didn't
Reggie
really
say?
know. She didn't really ask.
Oh.
They weren't really involved once I went to college. They were just like, I was going and coming, going and coming. So it was like fine. They didn't really ask to see grades because uh, the state was paying for me to go there instead of them. So one less.
Oh, you had a scholarship?
No, it was like it's a SUNY. So
What
one
city?
less thing they had to worry about. State University of New York. So if your parents make a certain amount, then they like pay towards your tuition and stuff. So I got like Pell grants. My mom took out I took out a loan. My mom didn't take out a loan, so everything was basically on me. Like when I got a refund check, I was able to pay my rent. So like she didn't have to do anything but send me money for groceries.
So what was it like having that freedom? The first time you're free, what is it like? Do you feel like you bossed up a little bit when your mom talks to you? Do you feel like, oh, I'm paying bills myself?
I was like, I'm doing my thing. Like I'm doing my thing. Like I was really happy. Like I'm away from that toxic ass house. I don't really have to see them. Don't really have to be around like that energy. So I was.
When you say toxic,
happy.
you saying toxic because of the stress, how strict it was, or you saying toxic just because you still go back? Is it still toxic now or not?
No, it's not toxic because I'm more vocal. So
Okay.
it's fine.
So we get inside school. How many is it? Is this a 4-year university?
A 2 year.
2 year. So you do your 2 years, and then what happens after that?
I graduated 2015, and then I came back. I was working, so my lease was up in May. So I was back up there. I took.
Oh, you stayed up there. You didn't come back to Harlem.
2006. I stayed up there to 2016. I had like a winter graduation, but I wanted to do like the May graduation. So like I was able to stay. I took a class. I worked in the cafeteria, and then once I came back, my nephew was born that February, so I was like babysitting him, and I didn't get a job until that August working at a daycare center. Yeah, I worked at a daycare center. Yeah, for about a year.
So when we graduate, right, we go to graduation. What was the hardest thing in college that you experienced, if you look back on it?
I would say depression.
What were you so depressed about in college?
I was like fine with being away from home, but then there were times where like I missed my family a lot because I was away. And I didn't realize that like I was like stress eating, like eating a lot. Like I went from like 160 to like 185
Oh,
in a
goodness.
semester. And someone told me before I went to college, like, don't wear leggings. Keep wearing jeans because you
What?
do not notice how much weight you're going to gain. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear leggings. They're easy to put on, whatever. I won't have to really get dressed for class. And then I was like, wow.
Yeah, freshman 20, that's what they call it.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. And then I was just kept gaining more and more weight because I was also eating heavy meals at like 11, 12, 1 o'clock. I would like come home from classes, sleep for like 7, 8 hours, and wake up and make a full course meal.
4-course meal.
Yeah, like cornbread, dinner rolls, fried chicken, like unhealthy stuff. Like
At 11 o'clock at night?
yeah, I was always eating rice, always eating mashed potatoes. Like, yeah, I came alive in the nighttime. It was crazy.
What was your roommate doing the whole time?
She was eating with me.
You guys are roommates for 2 years the same.
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all stayed together the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel a sense of comfort having her there? Was she like your blanket a little bit?
I did. We met another friend named Jazz, but like she left after one semester. We went through a lot together, like emotionally. Like she was the first person to ever outside of my family to physically tell me she loves me and hug me. And I was just like, whoa, you love me? And she was like, yeah. And I was just like, oh, that's new. That's strange. And she was just like, and then we started like talking about like our like families and stuff. And she was just like, I could see why you're like sheltered like that because you didn't really ever physically hear someone say, I love you. It was like more so like,
You said outside of your family? Or
yeah, like family
okay.
would even like show they loved you, but it was never like physically said. We say it now, but like they never said it before.
So when you get back from college and you start hearing that love, when do you start bringing it back to your family?
With my nephew. So when my nephew was born, it was just like so much excitement, like a new baby, like wow, like he was like he got like everybody's love, like that kid is loved. Even her new baby like is loved, but like he was just like, oh my gosh, like every time she came to my mom's house, everybody was like, oh, he coming over, everybody gonna come over, we gonna hang out. It was like I feel like it was like a fresh start for everybody.
Do you think it was the baby that brought the family into more love?
Yeah, definitely. And maybe also my grandfather getting like sick.
Well, let's walk us through, because you said that your grandparents are like very influential throughout Harlem.
Yeah, my great grandparents. My great grandmother Julia Price.
What would she do? What did she do?
She was like the matriarch for the block. Always doing stuff for the kids. She worked at the school as the parent liaison or something. Everybody loved her. She was like the advocate for everything. Always like had all the kids around her, making sure everybody was protected, having fun, feeling the love. She's like that now too. So I could see how.
This is your great-great-grandmother.
My great grandmother. Yeah, she's about to be 96.
And she said how many presidents has she seen?
A lot. She's met a few presidents. Yeah. She
How many
has.
pictures she got at the house?
There's no pictures, but she do got a wall full of awards. She was on Tenant Patrol too.
What patrol?
Tenant Patrol.
What is that?
So she lives in Drew Hamilton Projects. Her and a few other old ladies will like sit in the lobby, the table, eating snacks, gossiping. Tenant Patrol.
Oh, Tenant Patrol.
Tenant Patrol,
Oh,
yeah.
Who that, baby? Who that ain't walking in there? Girl, you know his wife ain't home.
Knew everybody business.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, yeah. I heard she didn't graduate school and she up here with books in her hand. No, she ain't graduated.
Yeah, she knew everybody business.
So growing up, what was it like having your grandmother in your life? Because if she's 90, that means she had to be dang near
In her
65,
70s.
70s,
Yeah.
raising you. Well, not raising you, but
Her her so that's probably I'm like an old lady now. So it would be me, my mom's mom, Joanne, my great grandmother Julia, and then my grandmother's sister, Aunt Juki. Aunt Juki was a mean ass Jehovah Witness. She's not so mean no more, but she was mean. Like, oh my gosh, she used to pinch me under the arm. Oh my gosh, she was mean. So I was always like hanging out with them. I call us like the gossip girls. Because any little gossip I needed, I would get on the phone with one of them and they would tell me, which my mom hates because I know everybody's business. And then I'll bring it up to her and she's like, how you know? And I'm like, my grandmother. And she's like, I told her to stop telling you everybody's business. You a child. And I'm just like, well, I don't care.
what was your great grandmother's husband like?
Big grandpa? That's what we call him, big grandpa. He was a Southern man.
Oh, what part? Where was he from?
I think South Carolina.
Or the Carolinas? Most Carolina people moved up here.
Yeah, David Price. He died when I was in 4th grade. But what I do remember, he used to always like make jello. He used to always like cook stuff.
Jello.
He was always cooking. He used to have that little stool in the kitchen. Be at the sink cooking stuff. He used to call me like Daylou, like Daylou. Yeah, yeah. Him and my grandmother used to argue. He used to like have like a butter container and he used to like chew that chewing tobacco and like spit in it. And when they used to argue, it used to be so funny. He used to call her Juke. So when they start arguing, he'd be like, all right, Juke, whatever. It was like so funny. It was real funny.
So your great grandparents, then go to your grandparents.
Yeah. Joanne and Jim.
They are who?
My mom's parents.
Okay. How are they? You guys close to them? Were you close to them growing up or close? Yeah,
yeah. I was really close to my grandmother. I'm really close to my grandmother. I was close to my grandfather too.
Your grandmother's still living? Yes.
Yes, my grandmother's still alive. My grandfather passed away. Yeah, I was like my grandmother's shadow when I was a kid. Like anytime, most of the summers I used to be like, I want to go with my grandmother. I did not care about like hanging out with like old ladies. That's what I wanted to do. And she used to give me whatever I wanted. Like I did not care. Like I'm going to my grandmother's house. That's it.
How many grandbabies did she have?
It's a lot of us. I'm not sure. It's a lot of us.
What did she say when you told her you're pregnant?
Grands and great grands. I told her I was it was like I made like a coronavirus joke. So I was like, oh, I'm not really feeling well. And she say, stay home if you think you got the virus. And I was like, nah, I don't think it's that. I'm having morning sickness. And she was like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And then she was just like, oh, okay. And then I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. And she was like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And then she like brushed it off or whatever. It wasn't until I saw my great grandmother that weekend. And she was like, oh, I had a dream about fish and I just knew it was you. I was like, yeah, it is. And she was like, really? And she like sat up in her bed. She can't see, so she sat up in her bed and she like hugged me so tight. And she was like, you need to come over more. And she was like kissing me and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's me.
And her husband's name was?
David.
Where's David from? He's from New York as well?
Wait, Jim is my grandmother's and David is my great grandmother's.
No, so Jim.
Savannah, Georgia.
He is from the South too.
Yeah.
So he came up here.
Yeah. His family came up in the 60s, I believe. Maybe even earlier.
Married your mom's mom.
Yep. They got married before.
What was he like?
After he came
Always
from
giving
Vietnam.
candy and stuff like that?
He was like...
Cause that's how old Southern men are. They always got peppermint candy everywhere.
No, one thing he always had was a cigarette dangling out that mouth. He was like the mechanic on the block I grew up on, 149th Street. Everybody knew him. It was him and his best friend, Mr. Jimmy. They would be like working on cars, and then he'll see us and he'll say, That's my wife, and that's her shadow. That's my granddaughter. And he was always coming to my mom's house. We was real close. Like, he was always coming to my mom's house, hanging out, eating food, sometimes making jokes that was a little rude. But
He had no filter.
no filter. He was always cooking. I remember around Thanksgiving time, he would make like a dump cake. Is like, I don't know what it is, but I know it's like canned fruits and like cake mix, and you like mix it and bake it, and it's a dump cake. I don't know, maybe like a southern fruit cake or something. But
How many kids did they have?
um, 6.
6 kids. Because I met some of your cousins.
Yeah.
I met your cousins when they had all these diamonds on.
Oh
And
gosh.
yeah, I think I met your cousin. And I think one of their baby's mothers was sitting there talking to me. And she said, now I know good and well I need to go hold his hand because he'll go ahead and knock over everybody.
Oh my god.
I was sitting next to you.
At the funeral.
His baby's mother. And she's all like, he don't need to go up there by himself. She said, I know he ain't going to go up there by himself.
Oh
He going to go and knock somebody out. I think he was light-skinned with all these. I think he had jewels, so I was running into him. I told Dave and Nick this. When our grandfather passed away, I went to the funeral, and I'm sitting there. And maybe because all Southern black people look alike, but I'm sitting there, and this old black man walked up to me, rubbed my shoulders, and he said, your grandfather be so proud of you. You look just like you. And he said, he's so proud of what you accomplished. And I was like, thank you so much. I was like, I'm not even related to this family. I'm not related to this family. Then your cousins, some of your cousins were sitting next to me because I was to the left, and the lady moved me to the right where some of the, I had to go. And that's when I think your cousin's baby mother was sitting there talking like he don't need to be by himself over there. Then I heard you go, that don't even look like him.
Yeah, it did not. It did.
That's what happened to my grandmother too.
I said, "Oh hell no, that did not." Like he was like,
did he have a beard or something?
No, the day he died, like we like went to hospice, and he still looked the same. So I was like expecting like the same brown skin. I was just expecting the same thing. When I looked in that casket, and I said, "No, that ain't my grandfather. We ain't."
Was it the makeup or what?
It was like he looked darker, and I was just like, "That no. I'm sorry, no, that's not him."
So the funeral director, when you said that, he was just like, you just see his face. You just see his face. When people are grieving, people are grieving. Because I thought I was back home in North Carolina. I said, oh, these people must be Southern people, the way we all yelling out. My grandmother passed away, and my cousin, he might be dang near 410 pounds. And when he sat in the church, the bench started cracking back, and everybody told me, come on, come on, Steve about to break the bench. And he looks back at me. As they're singing the song. He said, Jared, he said, who that woman in that casket? I don't know who this lady is.
Yeah, they look different.
Said, I don't know who this lady is. He said, I don't know who this lady is. That ain't my grandmama inside there. I don't know who this is. He said, we at the wrong funeral.
Yeah, it was just like, it was too much for me. I was just like,
Did y'all have the wake and the funeral the same day?
Yes.
So I went to one of those similar, but one time some parts of the South, there's a funeral home where you get to view the body one day, and the next day is the funeral.
Yeah, it was. We wanted to do everything in one, just straight through one day.
So one time there was like 2 funerals connected, 2 wakes together, and I went to the wrong side, and I was like, man, I don't know who these white people are, but maybe I said maybe my cousin, maybe she worked because she worked in the military. So I was like, that's so nice. Her coworkers came up here. Then I went up to that casket. I said, I don't know who this lady from Golden Girls is.
Oh my God.
And everybody's talking to me. Were you one of her students that she taught? And I said, yeah, I was. My cousin came. I think my brother said, what is wrong with you? Get over here. What are you doing? You're in a whole nother family. I was sitting there talking to this.
My God.
Were you one of her students? I said, yeah, she taught me in 5th grade.
No.
And my brother's like, what are you doing? Get over here. You're the wrong family. I said, how come they didn't tell nobody to go left or go right? We got all these people grieving together.
Oh, my God.
I said, I would have sat down the whole service if I didn't go ahead and walk up to the front.
Oh, my God.
So yeah, you have a lot of
That is
cousins.
hilarious.
So they're pointing like, these are your cousins, and then you're like, these are my coworkers. But before that, people just thought I was a cousin, so I was just blending in. But I was like, dang, I ain't dressed up for this funeral. Then I saw some of your cousins. I said, well, I fit right on in. They ain't dressed up either.
Yeah.
I was like, these dudes ain't dressed up either.
Yeah, the immediate family had like navy blue on, and it was like whatever. Everybody wear whatever. Everybody else.
So did your grandfather, so you being close to your grandfather and your grandparents, when do you get close to your mother? Do you ever vent to your grandparents about your mother and her and Mr. Reggie? Or
I used to run away to my grandmother's house when I got upset with my mom. And my mom would call her and say, she there, right? And my grandma would be like, yeah, she in the room. This is like, where else am I running away to? Like, I went to my grandmother's house. I would say after my first year of college, I got pregnant. So I had to tell my mom. And I was like, at first I was just like, you know what? I saw you be a single mom. I want to keep it. I'm going to keep it. And she was just like, cut it. We're not going to keep this. And I ended up getting rid of it. And it wasn't until like a year later that we like sat down with like my mom's best friend, me, Anna, and we like got everything out that we felt like we was like holding on to. And then like after that, I feel like that's when it was like a good turning point.
Well, how did y'all get to the sit down? Just randomly one night and you just started?
We went to my mom's best friend. Like we were always going to our house. We like went and we like vented and was just like, enough is enough at this point. Like we're old enough. We could like get what we needed across without like it seeming as disrespectful.
What did your mom say? How did your mom say? Did she say that she was doing the best that she could, and did you understand where she was coming from?
We got a lot of insight from her best friend that she knew since she was 10 years old. So she was just like, a lot of the things y'all are seeing, this is how she was when she was younger. Y'all don't know a lot of the stuff she went through because she did hide it. So we was able to see like a side of her that we never knew. And that gave us a lot of like clarity on stuff.
Who's us? Who was there inside this thing? You, your older sister?
Me and Anna. Not Jazz, just me and Anna.
Did Jasmine need that clarification, or Jasmine's relationship still different?
I felt like it was different because she was the first. So like she saw some of the things that
your mom went through.
Yeah, so she was able to like not relate but like understand, but we didn't. So we were just like, we hate it here, we're miserable, we're depressed, we don't want to be here, like and then we had that sit down and it was like,
so this is 2016, 2017, 2016, 2015.
It was like 2014. It was 2014. And
so you're like 19 years old.
Yep.
And that's when you guys became closer.
Yes.
Do you ever wish that time would have happened faster so you can have more moments, or you needed that stern house?
I feel like I needed the sternness to an extent. Sometimes it was just excessive.
Well, how did it carry over to Mr. Reggie after you guys have this talk? Does he lighten up?
After we had that talk, once we got close to our mom, it was like the bond became so solid. Whatever he was doing, we didn't give a damn. Because it was like, if you look at it, it's us against you. So whatever.
It's 5 girls.
You come in, you upset, we don't give a damn. We still in the living room laughing, joking, having fun. If you upset and miserable in that moment, then whatever. Because we still out here laughing.
Where did he work? For him to be so stressed out, what was he working?
I don't think it was stress. I think it was also like maybe like his upbringing that played a factor. He was like a security, like a bouncer for like clubs and stuff.
Oh, so he was dealing with wild people every night.
Mhm.
So during the day he was off, and at night he would start working.
Mhm.
So he was raising y'all throughout the day.
He
probably just wanted it quiet at the house.
He was at school during the day.
Oh, he was at school during the day?
We was at school during the day.
Oh, so when y'all came home, it's like, well, I got 5 hours, so I go outside.
Mhm. Yeah.
So has your relationship with him changed at all?
It has. Like once I went to college and was out the house, and was able to be more vocal. And I think it got better like once I like became an adult.
They respected you more as an adult talking to them than a child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like typical black parents. Yeah, I feel like once I actually got out the house, like moved out, it was like even better. Because I could like
space.
Yeah, I could like come, talk my shit, and leave.
Well, how did your baby sisters take it?
When I
How did it affect them? How does it affect them growing up? Can you tell they grew up completely different?
No, I feel like they grew up the same. Like some of the stuff that we experienced, like the fun stuff or like the trips and stuff we took, they didn't experience. Like it was like we did have fun times growing up. Like
yeah, but your mother's probably a whole lot better mom to them than she was to y'all two since that talk, right? She's probably raising them completely different.
No, I think it's the same because Reggie is also like their actual dad, so it's like different love coming from both biological parents.
Okay.
It was different. But I think my little sisters are like,
would you say they're spoiled?
Yeah, I would say we were all spoiled.
Okay.
But like,
so you had a good life. You had a good life.
Yeah, I did.
They're just strict.
For sure. London is more like, she's like a baby. She's like 9 and she'll be 10 in November, but she's like a baby. Like, always want to be under my mom. Always want to be around my mom. It was like up until a few years ago, my mom would leave the house and she'll be crying for like an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And how do they see you? They probably see you as an older sister, that fun sister. Do you ever bring them to the Bronx and let them have a girls' day and let Anthony sit in a room and play Fortnite?
No, when I did live on the east side, they did come spend the night and it was like fun. But since I moved to the Bronx, it's like a smaller space. So like if they was to come over, like he would have to leave for the night and
that place looked big to me.
It's a studio.
It's spacious.
It is spacious, but I feel like if we want to have like fun, like it should just be like
gotta just leave.
All the sisters having fun. Yeah, we are loud. Yeah. So when we at my mom's house, it's like fun. Like I stay as late as possible watching scary movies, laughing.
You've been here for a dang near a week, haven't you?
I have. London just came home yesterday and we watched a scary movie and then I like got in a shower and then I was like, all right, you get in a shower now. I'm gonna wait for you in a room. Thinking like we was gonna watch something or something, and she like opened her laptop and got on Roblox, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go to sleep.
Roblox.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna just go to sleep. It's almost 3 a.m. I'm tired. And then
where's your middle sister at? Does she come by too?
Anna.
Does she live in Harlem?
Anna still lives at home.
Okay.
And Rain.
What's your relationship with Anna?
Me and Anna are like real close. I would say me and her are the closest out of all of us.
That's the one. Anna worked. Didn't she work at a daycare center as well?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I've seen her before. I've seen pictures of her.
Yeah. We're the closest out of like everybody. She knows all the secrets.
And who's Jazz closest to?
Jazz is close to us too. We're all close. But I feel like whose bond is like the tightest is me and Anna. And then as a whole is like me, Anna, Jazz. Because the other ones are so little. Like they can't really like hang out.
They can't talk about adult stuff.
Yeah. They can't really hang out with us
if
like
they do,
that.
They don't got exposed.
Yeah, they don't really hang out with us.
So we get to 2016. So 2016, why do you leave the daycare and go? Because we met in 2017.
Yeah, I was there from 2016 to 2017. And that's when I left to work at the job.
But I'm saying, how did you find the job? How was just randomly or?
The head of school was my middle school teacher.
What was she like when you were in middle school? Was she the same or?
No, she was like fun, curly hair, nose ring, used to show her tattoos. It was like cool. She was like, I would say cooler. I don't really. She was like the writing teacher, so I don't really know.
So she randomly hit you up and was like, "Hey, I'm the principal here. Come through," or?
No, I said I was like looking for a new job.
Just in general, or you just
Uptown.
But how did she find out? You just put a post or what?
I had her on Facebook, and she was like, "Oh, I have a potential opportunity," and I looked at it, went for the interview, and I was like, "I think this will be something I would like to do." And then I entered hell.
It was fun though.
It was fun as hell. Like that was
fun. Yeah, it was
I
fun.
always say, even at my job now, I was like, my team at my old job was not like this, and they just like, well, I was like, we was all black.
Sometimes it's like when the inmates run their silent because there's like, Jerry, you're in charge. I was all right. No, first we had Laura.
Oh man.
The funniest thing was when Laura left. That was the funniest thing.
She said, I'm fucking out of here.
I think it's I think the reason why it's different because all the other schools I've taught at, the other ones, it's very like an older staff. So that was the first time me ever being around like younger people like younger than me and stuff like that. Because usually when you're around old people or old teachers, they really don't care about your lives. They're trying to get in and get out. And after that, there is no social aspect to it. But when you're literally with people that's your own age, like everyone relates, did you see what happened on the Shade Room?
Yeah. Every morning at 7:30, we was talking about some celebrity gossip or something. When
that's when Sherilyn came in.
Pusha T and Drake, oh my God, we was talking about that for weeks. That was fun. It
was like a moment for the dark skins.
Yeah.
Because we remember when Amber first had her baby, or Amber when she was pregnant.
Yeah, when we had the little baby shower. I was like, wow, so I'm looking a little funny. And then that's when she was finally like, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh. Yeah, that was fun. That was real fun.
What did Nashawn get her? Didn't he get her baby shoes?
Yeah, he made her some custom-made Air Force
Ones.
He
made those?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he bought them, yeah.
I mean, he bought them and, like, decorated them, but they were, like, real cute. Those was real cute.
She made baby Asher.
Yeah, we had that little baby shower. That was so fun. That was real fun.
It was all adjusting. What would you say the high of working there?
I would say working
people,
with
right?
black people.
It was a lot, right? It's heavy.
I think my high was working with black people because, like, the daycare job I did work with black people. My co-teacher was black. The head of the school was black. Administration was black. And I think that's always my high, like, being able to, like, work with people that look like me because we can relate. Like, if, like, the time Anthony got arrested and I came in, like, crying and everybody's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know where he's at. And then he called me at work and I was like, oh, Laura, that's him. And she was like, take your time. And then that's when I figured out he had got arrested. And I was just like, had something like that happen at my new job, I don't think they could, like, relate to that. Like, what did he get arrested for? Why?
Right. Everybody's like, let David take a moment.
Yeah, I was distraught. I was like, he told me to come to his house. I spent the night. He never came home. Where the fuck is he at? I even walked to work. I was like, no, I was on time.
She was.
I was even on time.
Yeah, she showing up on time today? I said, we only pray.
I was like, oh my gosh. It was crazy. And then that was good. Even the kids, like, I feel like I could relate to black kids, whether like no matter the circumstances, but like at my job now, it's like I can't really relate to them. Like,
I think you can relate to them, but it's a thing about being in the inner city because you grew up the same way they grew up, so that's why you connected with them.
Yes,
that's why. And when I say that, because I remember when you first started. I said, Lord, help her to make, help her to adjust. And once you adjust it, that's when, it takes a while. I think it takes a while for people to adjust. After the first 21 days of any situation, you get to know people's personalities and you know how to work around and work with the personalities. And everybody had some fun. It's still fun. Yeah. I think you're just in you're in a good team because I try to make everything fun. Cause you're like, why won't you hang out? I was like, I can't be hanging out. I got stuff,
like,
stuff to do.
What other job do you have? Because are you like a stripper or something at night? Coming in, oh man, you got the class where I gotta go move my car. I'm just like, I got it. You know what? I got it. I don't care if they're whipping my ass. I got it. I'm good. I don't care. I don't care if they're licking my neck.
I forgot who was talking to. They're like, what? I was like, keep Dave and Nick over there in the other class. They're like, why? I said, because it's probably the only time in life where she's going to bond with someone that's going to be her age. Because y'all both are the same age. Y'all both pretty much the same age. Y'all both the same age. So both of y'all were connecting like that. So we get there, and then we transition. Oh, then we have the graduation. The graduation was wild.
Oh, my gosh.
Graduation was wild. The graduation was wild.
Graduation.
So what are the highlights of the new job? What do you like over there?
I think
What have you taken from our fix working together to your new job? What have you
I
taken?
did gain a lot of patience and being able to like actually connect with the kids because like I work with all of my kids are white and I work with 8 boys. It's seven of them. 6 of them are white. One is Asian and one is like Spanish. So and they're on a spectrum. So the school is based around autism. So that was something that I feel like I did want to learn. I've always wanted to work with kids with special needs. So like I was able to like learn them. Like and I picked up some of their habits. So that's a little strange. They're like
And I think about working with young kids. Young kids don't have the experience of life that older kids have already. They don't know the
yeah.
racism doesn't hit them like that. So it's not like they're actually 5, you know? They're probably going to grow up differently when they get like
Yeah.
6 or 7.
Uh
But when they're young, they have the innocence of not knowing about what this world really is about.
nothing.
So they're blank slate. So that's when you say you can relate to being around black kids. You can. But what made you better was how diverse the school was. Because now in your new job, in your new position, you're with diverse kids and you can fit in. And you know how to adjust to a
Yeah.
teacher who's not like you or a coworker who
Yes.
has nothing to do with you.
Yes.
Literally from different countries.
All of us are from different countries. Yeah.
And growing up in Harlem's
Filipino,
a different
India.
country too.
Seriously. Even how we grew up now. One of the teachers grew up in the Philippines. One of them grew up in Long Island. And I grew up in Harlem. So, like, I feel like she has a negative misconception, too. Like, there was, like, a mouse in our room. And I was just, like, really petrified because I have a phobia of mice. So she was like, oh, I thought living in the city, you'll be like used to it. And I looked at her and was like, what makes you say that? And she was like, the city is dirty. And I was like, I don't live in a dirty area. So that's not something I will ever get used to.
Never seen a mouse here either.
So the mouse actually ran out when I was in the classroom and I left the kids. I ran out the room as fast as I could. I was screaming. I was scared because it was like so sudden. And I came in that morning and she was like, the kids' snacks was eaten through. And I was just like, I balled up everything I had and I put it in my bag and I sat it on top of the kids' lockers. And I was just like, this is not something I'm used to. This is not something I feel comfortable dealing with. So when the mouse ran out, I like screamed at the top of my lungs and I ran out and I ran on a bench in a hallway. And the kids were just like, oh no, like what's wrong with Miss Day? Like what happened? And she like tried to take them out as fast as she could without like passing out from laughing. And I ran from one end of the hallway to the other end to go like where they were at in a play roof. And I was like, y'all, I saw the mouse. And they were just like, oh, like they didn't think that was disgusting. They were just like, can we keep it? And I was just like, in my mind, hell fucking no. We cannot keep the mouse. It is dirty. No.
It is dirty.
And they were just like, you ran out so fast. We didn't know what was going on. And I was just like, I'm sorry. We call it like big reaction or little reaction. I was like, it was a big reaction over a small mouse, but I wouldn't have reacted any differently than I had that day.
Sometimes I feel like the hardest part about when you're teaching and working is that you have to, especially I would say a person of color, you have to not dial down, but you have to adjust because sometimes you carry a race with you. Meaning like as a man, I know I work with a whole bunch of women. First, I need to make sure these women feel safe and let them know that all men aren't like this. And at the same time, know like all Southern people aren't like this. Then they're going to know the black people they do me. If they've never experienced black people before, they're like this. I work with a lot of people who've never met like black people in general. Not worked that close to them. So they're most of the questions they ask, they may seem ignorant at the time, but most people don't even know. You know?
True.
Some people don't know. A lot of, I forgot, this Native American girl I work with. No, she's from, I forgot what part of Asia. No, she's Indonesian. She's like all the stuff that people say to her. Or I work with a Asian girl now talking about xenophobia. And I was like, man, I didn't know. I knew it was bad, but she's like, think about it now, how unsafe I feel inside the city with all this, the COVID virus, how they're attacking different Asian people, and sometimes I think as a minority, we have to realize there's other minorities out there. Sometimes we focus on like because of course you're gonna focus on yourself, because you focus on your people. Then you realize there's other people out there completely having a different type of minority experience. So let's go to the day you met Anthony. Where'd y'all meet at?
He actually liked my pictures up on Instagram.
Oh, he slid in the DMs.
Yeah, he slid in my DMs, and I was just like, you know what?
What did he say in the picture?
He just like put the heart eyes, and then he like inboxed me and was like, text me, and then we started.
Oh, that's all he said.
Yeah,
straight up, no hi, hello, text me.
No, and then he was like, straightforward, and then we started texting. We went on our first date.
Where you go to Golden Corral?
We went to Mother Burger, and
in Harlem.
No, Mother Burger is on 50th Street. And we actually had to sit outside and wait for our table to be ready. So we were like sitting out there and we were like laughing. It was like natural. Like we were laughing.
Was he quiet then?
He's always been quiet, but like he was laughing with me.
Because y'all, if you don't know, they have very unique personalities. I met him twice. He's always been like real quiet. He's very just chill.
Like, real laid back.
Chill. Not quiet, but just like chill. My cousins are like that. They're very chill.
The opposite of me, and it
Opposites
was like
attract.
Yeah, true. And it was like real cool. I was still like trying to get out of a situation, so we did remain friends for like months. And then in July,
how are you getting out of a situation, going on dates? How's that happening?
No, I told my ex I didn't want to be with him, but he was like constantly harassing me, stalking me, texting me, calling me from different numbers. Like it was like really hard for him to let go, but I was just like, it wasn't healthy for me to like stay with someone like that. And Anthony knew all of this, so we did remain friends. And then
what was he saying the whole time?
He was just like,
if you're mine, I'd never treat you like that.
No, he was just like, whatever, like deal with the best way you know how. And then that July, that was in like February, he came over for dinner once. Actually, he came to my mom's house, and then
wow.
Yeah, that was cool. And then
did he introduce him? So what did you just say? This is my boyfriend?
No, I was like, this is my friend Anthony. He's like just here for dinner. And my mom was like, all right, that's fine. Then July, I was like, we had like stopped talking because it was like, it got like real like weird. And then Takira had came down and she was like, oh, like let's go out, let's go get drinks. I was like, sure. And then she was like, let's go to karaoke. And I was like, oh, I'll invite Anthony. And then he came to karaoke. We got drunk, and then that July night, I mean, here we are.
When did y'all make it official? When did the Facebook status change? When did that happen?
The Facebook status never changed.
When did he say like look, I'm trying to be your man. I'm trying to be down
November.
For you. Do you love me? Do you ride me? Do you trust me?
I started like going over to his house, like spending the night, and then he was like, you could start like leaving stuff here. And I was just like, okay. And then I started cooking dinner there. And then he was like, like if you need like hair stuff and like soap and stuff to bring, like you can like bring it. And at this point I had my own section in the bucket. So I was like, you know what? All right. And Thanksgiving was coming up and he was like, if you're not doing anything, we're going to my family's house. And that's when I met his whole family. And then I was just like...
How do they like that big personality coming up?
It wasn't that big. I was like real... Like,
why'd you tone it down? You toned it
down?
I
was real like... Because they was like bougie.
Oh.
They was bougie. So I was just like, And the food wasn't that good. So I was real disappointed. That night we actually had chicken sandwiches and fries. And then I was like making a joke like, oh, like you're just my friend. And he was like, I'm not your friend. I'm your boyfriend. Ooh. And then it just like became official like that.
Do you remember when he said he loved you? Who said it first? You did or he did?
I don't know.
You do know.
I don't remember. I think that night.
Y'all texted to each other?
I think that night he got arrested. It was just like real scary. And he was like, I was like thinking about you the whole night because I told you to come over. And he actually did try to call me. and I blocked the number because I thought it was my ex. So I was like, oh my
Getting a call
gosh.
from a caller.
It was like a random number, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not answering. And then he was like, I tried to call you to tell you what happened, but you didn't answer. So I was like, maybe that was it. I was like, he's like cool, like real quiet, real shy. And then after that, it was like history. I moved in. Then we went on our first vacation.
Yeah, I went to the where'd y'all go? Were you taking all the
we went on a cruise.
the cruise? Where you taking all them pictures? Don't look at these pictures. I said these ain't appropriate for school. These ain't appropriate for a work environment.
Yeah.
Look at me in the sand.
Yeah.
Look at me sitting in the sand.
That was yeah. We went on a cruise, and then we moved into the first place we moved in together.
How did that go? What did he say? Like, let's move in together? What did
No, his friend was like being like real weird. And he was like, y'all got 2 weeks to move. And then those 2 weeks we found a sublease. We moved in, and it was cool because it was like we had our own space. We didn't have to worry about like people touching our stuff or like cleaning up after anybody. And then it's like real. And then we got our official place last year, March. And I feel like since it was like physically ours, that's when the real us came out. The attitudes, like the emotions.
It's an adjustment living with somebody.
It is.
What was the hardest adjustment moving in?
Being together 24/7. Like, up until that point, I've never spent the night out. I went to Charlotte for like 3 days in
2017. You went for the CIAA weekend.
Yes, I went
like,
there.
It's gonna be wild out there.
Yeah, it was real ghetto out there. I went there, and that was the first time we ever spent time away from each other. And I never spent the night out because it was just like we have our own home, so not really any point. But this is the longest we've been without each other this week. I've been at my
4
house
days
since Friday. Yeah. Any other time we've been home together.
How do you think he's gonna be as a dad?
I think he'll be a really good dad. We got a pet fish, and it's like,
who taking care of the fish now?
Him.
You know, if you feed it too much, it'll die.
He just cleaned the tank yesterday. So I was like, you know what? Let's get a pet fish. At first I wanted a dog, but then he was just like, if we gonna get a dog, we gonna get a big one. And I was just like, no, the fish will suffice. So he's like, oh, we got to keep the tank clean. He used to call me after work like, did you feed the fish? And I'm just like, it's not that serious. Like, it's just a fish.
Right.
And then we almost had a mistake where we killed the fish. So that was like real scary for us. But I think he'll be a good dad. He's excited. Every little thing I'm like sending him, like, oh, look at this, look at that. He's like excited. So we got like a solid foundation behind us too. So if things were to ever go wrong, we got somebody to lean back on.
Don't say things go wrong. Things will go right.
Things will go right. No, I said
like, get you a ring, get married. Would you do you want to be married or no?
I don't feel like marriage is like really, like, I never grew up saying like, oh, I want to be married, because I've seen marriages that.
Does he believe in marriage?
No, his grandparents are married like mine, but it's not something that's important
Your mom's
to
married?
me. No, she's engaged. Both of our parents are engaged.
When she just got engaged?
No. 2013. It's been a little minute.
Take your time.
Yeah.
So we get there, right? And so if you don't know, Devonique, she's a cook. She has her own business where she caters food. She makes cakes, delicacies, cupcakes. She can go. She made. Yeah. Did you make the dinner that I came over?
Yes.
My lady sitting like, she made all that. My heart was burning the other day. I was like, oh, maybe they got it spicy.
It was spicy.
I was like, golly, Mom. I told her, I said, what do you think is wrong with him? She said, they probably cook it with different type of spice. I said, my heart is burning. I was sitting in the bed, telling me I had to go to sleep.
Yeah, I woke up that day
Wait,
with
what
a
was on that cake?
headache.
Was it what type of crumbs were that on that cake?
It was like strawberry shortcake, like the ice cream.
There was no nuts in there, was it?
No nuts. No
What was
nuts.
that? Crumbs. I told her as soon as I ate, I had to go to bed. I,
Sweet.
I was eating.
It was
I,
real
was-
sweet.
I said, man, I ate the spiciness. She goes, what's wrong? I said, I think my heart is burning.
Yeah, I woke up that day with a headache and was just like,
I said, man, my heart. She said, was it good? I said, look at it. I said, the meat is falling right off the bone.
yeah, it was delicious. Oh.
She said, she still. I said, she got a couple more days in Harlem, so hopefully I can keep going. I said, I can keep going back over, keep back going. And she goes, what? She goes, yeah. I said, hopefully.
It was spicy. It was really
I
spicy.
said, shoot. I said, shoot. I said, they say we can come for Thanksgiving. I said, tell her mom we can go ahead and we'll bring a dish.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, we going to do it real big this year.
So when did you learn how to cook? You said your grandfather cooked. Everyone cooked in your house.
Yeah, everybody cooks. Literally everybody cooks. But I feel like in college, that's when I was really like, I was always cooking growing up, but not like the big meals. But once I got to college, I was like, all right, we going to have to figure something out because eating out is expensive. The cafeteria food is expensive and it's nasty. So I just started like, looking up recipes. Pinterest was my best friend. So I was like looking up recipes all the time. And I was
We
like,
made our anniversary cake.
yep.
We
I
dang
was
near
like-
finished that whole.
I said,
I
I'm
tried to take a picture of it. I said, I can't hold on that long. It's too long. We got to eat this cake.
Yeah, it's like trial and error. I feel like it's easy to me. It's not easy to everybody. Like you just have to. That's something you have to have. And
So let's
I
look
got
into the
it.
future. What would your goal be? To have your own restaurant or
Maybe like a restaurant
storefront?
/ bakery. Where like I sell food, but then like you could get a cupcake or a slice of cake if you needed it, or even somebody in a pudding. Need a little snack. Yeah.
I think I say you might be the only person I know that eat a brisket, macaroni and cheese, and
Yeah.
and mashed potatoes on your break and not
my-
doze off.
Oh my
So
gosh!
busy,
I used to be
everybody.
putting it away.
I said she about to crash in an hour.
Nope, that was fuel. It woke me up.
I said, man. I said,
Nope. Nope.
okay, so this is the end of the hill, right? So we have 5 questions, and you can answer these questions to the best of your ability. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay. Do you believe in God?
No,
No. Why not?
I just that wasn't something that was like pushed on me when I was younger.
We're
So it
Southern.
was
All them
like-
Southern people in your house,
Right. So it was like I never really had to go to church. I feel like if it was something that was instilled in me, then I would believe in it. But I feel like when people say like just pray and things will get better, it's like no, if you work hard, if you do what you need to do to figure something out or like get it done with your own willpower, that's not from God, that's from yourself.
So you don't pray to nothing.
I don't.
When's the last time you prayed in life?
Never. I've never really prayed. Like when death happens, it's because this is something that happens.
Well, what does Anthony believe in?
He don't really believe in anything either. He
yeah,
thinks there
perfect for
is
a
a
job.
God, but there's not like specifically God.
Have you ever read the Bible?
No.
Not even a verse.
Mm-mm. Oh, you wrote me a
Jesus is?
you wrote me a letter, and you put a little Bible verse in there.
I was breaking everybody down the first year.
Yeah, you was.
I broke down you and Sharon.
Yeah, you put that little oil on my head and stuff. Yeah.
I think it's because for both Charlotte, if you don't know, she probably won't come on the podcast. She said she will, but this thing get deep, don't it?
It do.
I think I told both of you guys. I said this experience that you guys have, y'all never experience it again, because you guys are both young. You guys are both. You're never gonna work with me no more. So I said that experience, it's like a glitch in the matrix. So that's when I wrote all you guys different letters about like what the first year is like. Because the first year is completely different. Your second year will change, the third year will change, and you always compare it to like, this is what my first year was like.
Yeah.
Because my first year, boy, my school was closing down, so everybody was just quitting left and right, and I was the only one. I was the only one there. I had most of the kids that didn't speak no English. I didn't have no curriculum. I said, well, I'm gonna figure it out. So I was like, I know what it's like not to have guidance. So at the beginning, I was like, let's see how these gals do. Okay, let's keep it moving. Here we go. When's the last time you had a nightmare?
I actually had a nightmare 2 nights ago.
What was it about?
I didn't have any legs. I was like, wow, I don't have no legs. And that was it. I think it's because my foot went numb in the middle of my sleep. I didn't have any legs.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear before was not living up to my full potential. And now that is different. Would be like failing as a parent.
Do you feel like you're living up to your biggest potential now?
Yeah, I feel like it. I don't have a restaurant, but I feel like given the circumstances now, like more people than ever are like recognizing me.
When was the last time you had a panic attack?
I would say Friday.
What were you panicking about?
I got into an argument with Anthony, and I was just like, I need to leave the house, and he was refusing to let me leave, and I was like, I just really need to leave. I need to go. And then I left, and I broke down the second I got into that Uber.
Were you panicking because you thought it was over, or what were you panicking about?
I was panicking because he couldn't calm down.
Okay.
Are
you his calming place?
I think so.
And is he your calming? Who calms you down?
I would say my mom. I would say my sisters and him as well. But like I never allow myself to get to that point. Like if I feel like I'm getting upset, I just like try to take 10 deep breaths. But if I'm escalated, then there's really no calming me down.
When's the last time you were escalated?
I would say maybe in November.
What happened in November?
Anthony cheated.
Oh, Lord. I don't know we're getting this real.
Yeah. And
how'd you find out?
I looked in his phone.
What was in his phone? Some
very vulgar stuff. And I was like, oh. And then I like beat him up. I like put my hands on him. Yeah. Whew.
How did y'all get past that?
That was bad. A lot of communication. I felt like he felt like.
Did you blame yourself?
Nope. No.
Well, you guys are together 24/7, so.
It wasn't my action. So I felt like I was constantly asking questions about it, and that made him uncomfortable. So it was like, it happened. I found out. Answer my questions, because that's the only thing that's going to ease my mind or make me feel like this is something you want. So he allowed me to ask questions, and then he asked, was that it? And I was like, if something else comes up, then I'll ask. But nothing else has come up, so it was nothing really for me to ask after that.
Were you going to leave him?
I was. I asked him to get out my house.
And what did he say?
He said he would. And then I didn't talk to him for a while, actually, and we lived in the same house.
What's a while?
I made my own meals, maybe like 2 or so weeks. I made my own meals. He didn't eat anything, so I was like, whatever. And then we started to communicate like more after that. I was like, if something is ever on your chest and you feel like you can't communicate that, you let me know. But I feel like his mom also played a big role.
Oh, his mom knew?
And like yes, I told her.
Oh, girl.
She like mediated a lot.
Why'd you tell his mom?
Me and his mom are actually really close.
Does your family know?
My mom knows.
Well, the world knows now, so.
Yeah, y'all know too. But his mom was like a real.
But sometimes I feel like, how does he take that, took him to his mom? Because now his mom knows something very intimate inside his life, something that you two shared.
He went to her and was like, I messed up.
Oh, so he talked to his mother.
Yeah.
And how did your mom take it when she had to talk to him?
My mom was upset initially.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing when you make mama upset and you're the person that
Yeah.
moved her daughter out of a house into everything else. So how did your mom?
She was upset and she's like, what do you want to do? Because you're an adult, it is your choice. And I just didn't know. So it was like she let me figure it out. He still, it hasn't been any family events where he came, but like she actually came to our house for dinner a few times actually. And it was fine.
How does he feel around your family now?
Fine.
Do your sisters know?
Yeah. My older sisters know. I had told them about it. And it was just like, it's your choice. Like
That's probably the embarrassment out of him, even though the embarrassment he's earned. But, it's for him being such a, more intimate person.
Yeah, it could be.
Now he's forced to be an extrovert.
Yeah, but I feel like when he comes around, it's like cool. Like they still come to our house. Like they still come to dinner and stuff. Like it's nothing.
Y'all moved past it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we did. We got through it and we moved past it. It wasn't like something that's like always being brought up. Like it was like it happened. We dealt with it. We faced it. We were done. But like, yeah, her and her sons came over for dinner too. And it was fine. He was fine. No, things are.
Are you his first girlfriend?
No.
Like adult girlfriend.
Yes. Adult,
real
he's
an
adult.
Now. That's what I'm saying. So of course you have girlfriend. I'm talking about you guys are this is you guys' first real big boy, big girl relationship.
Everything.
You guys are your first time living together, first time experiencing things together with each other.
Yes.
So you guys are both growing up together, pretty much.
Basically, and now,
Because he's had you for most of your 20s.
Since I was
22.
Yeah, 23.
How old is he?
We're the same age.
So yeah, for y'all 20s, you guys are pretty much gonna spend y'all 20s together.
Yeah. Yep. Stuck with me.
You stuck with him too?
Stuck together.
Stuck in the middle with you.
That
Do you believe in soulmates? That's the next question.
Do I believe in soulmates? I don't. I feel like I believe in like having a person, like friends mates, not soulmates. No, I don't believe in soulmates.
What do you think happens when you die?
I don't know. Become maggot food. I don't really believe in that reincarnation stuff. Maybe it depends on how you die. Cause I know like there's either cremation or you're buried in a box. That's really the only the two options.
You think that's then? That's when it's over?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I kind of believe in ghosts.
Well, you're from Harlem, so that don't surprise me. A lot of people in Harlem believe in ghosts. Everyone that I talk to in Harlem keeps talking about they've seen ghosts before. Everyone that I've seen in Harlem keeps talking about ghosts. I said, well, I don't got no time for no ghosts. Watch out. As soon as it's an old lady upstairs, she said, there was a ghost right on that third floor.
Oh,
I said,
gosh.
I ain't seen them, so ain't no ghost here.
Oh, my gosh.
She said, yeah, it was a ghost, a New Guinea ghost. I said, all right. So I've been here 40 years, and I've been hearing about that ghost for 40 years. I said, he only terrorized this neighborhood, that's it?
Oh, my gosh. Oh.
Last question. You've done this. Remember we did this in an exercise? It's called Who Are You? Remember that dude came by?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. It was hilarious.
He was trolling. Good and well. He started tearing up in front of all these women at the school. Everybody said, oh, my God, he's so sweet. I said, he gets paid to do this. This is all acting. All of it's acting. I'm going to say, who are you until... I actually done it before I met him. Who are you until you stop? Ready?
Okay.
Who are you?
Devani.
Who are you?
Woman.
Who are you?
Activist.
Who are you?
Fun.
Who are you?
Smart.
Who are you?
Funny.
Who are you?
Sometimes lazy.
Who are you?
Teacher.
Who are you?
Black woman.
Who are you?
Positive.
Who are you?
Social butterfly.
Who are you?
Bitch.
Who Who are you?
Said that. Comedian.
Who are you? Let's back that up. Let's not That's what we draw.
God too. I forgot who I had.
I know. I was just sitting there, just like, she don't mean. I was like, she ain't talking about stand up.
Oh my God.
Keep going. Who are you?
A mom now.
Yeah. Who are you?
Sister.
Who are you?
Daughter.
Who are you?
Granddaughter.
Who are you?
Friend.
Who are you?
Confidant.
When it's all said and done, what do you want people to know about David Nick Gardner?
That I have a big heart. Oh, is it just that?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jared Waters. This is David Nick Gardner. This is One Man, One Tree in a Hill. Thank you, everyone. Shout out your Instagram so people can follow you.
Wild Thing Day _
But shout out the business Instagram too.
Baked by Day NYC.
Tell them what the prices are for the cakes.
No
and for
prices.
The plates.
Prices differ. They're different. But I'm pretty affordable. My thing's pretty good. It's actually delicious.
I paid a good price for my engagement, not my engagement cake, for my anniversary cake. And it was good. It lasted us about 2 days.
See? Says a lot.
And we was eating that cake all the time. No, maybe it was 3 days. 3 or 4 days. Well, thank you, madam, for coming on to the hill. It was fun, right? You had fun?
Yeah, I had fun. My cheeks are actually hurting.
We'll catch you later, folks. Same time, same place, same podcast.